Hey y'all, how are you? Crunch, crunch. Here we go. Episode 3. Guys, let's just get into it. Today's episode, we're going to talk about Jeff Foxworthy and how I have met him and how he was wonderful and what it was like to get to open for him. Then we're going to get into botched plastic surgery and we're going to get into what I just had done. So I hope that you'll just hang out with me and let's just get into it. Ladies and fun men, as we talk about things. If you are watching this and not listening, and no, I don't have on makeup because I just got back from Dr. Melanie Petros, where I thought I was going to go get a laser treatment. But instead, she was like, no, you don't need to get that because you have lost weight. And so you've lost volume in your face. And we need to stimulate the collagen, and that's what we did. So I did not get a laser, but I'm still a little puffy. She was like, it's going to go down, but she did a collagen stimulator through here, so that way my face, I'm so excited. She also did just like a couple of zhuzhes of Botox right here because they're not even. And so I'm going to go back week after next, because she's a woman that loves women and just wants us to feel beautiful. And she just knows so much. So I said, can we just come back and let's just talk about the options that are there for us? And she was like, absolutely, we'll get into it. Because I'll tell you this right now, for how I think my face is going to look, I would give up a housekeeper. If I could just Venmo Dr. Petro every week and go just put this, just have me a little bank account saved up with stuff, I would do it in a heartbeat. Okay, recap of Jeff Foxworthy. If you've been listening, you know that last Thursday I got to open for the Jeff Foxworthy, absolutely one of the greatest in the business. It happened because of my manager and Jamie, my opener. Jamie and Chris co-owned the Punchline together. Chris was Jeff Foxworthy's first manager. They have remained friends. They get along great. I got to meet Jeff's currently managed by his childhood best friend, just a wonderful, wonderful human being, just a wonderful all-around group. And so I got the call last Monday night, hey, would you want to open for Jeff Foxworthy? Yeah, I would like to open for Jeff Foxworthy. Let's do this. And guys, I'm not going to lie. I have met not a lot of famous people, but I've met people less famous than Jeff Foxworthy who were a little to me, okay? So my brain and heart were guarded. I was prepared for, this is my green room, put on your makeup at the bar. Or thank you so much for doing this. And then, not much else. I had a baseline of 0. That man is so kind. He is so kind. He said, well, hello, Ellen. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for doing this. Now, where is home for you? Just inviting. And then his wife, just a beautiful woman, FYI, little red Chanel double flap. I was like, oh, I'll hold your purse for you if you want me to. She was amazing. Just a beautiful woman. And she goes, oh, you're from Jackson. I have family from Brandon, Mississippi. I was like, oh, well, I know you come from good people because Brandon, Mississippi, those are some great people. Then his precious daughter. Y'all, as if you could not be more perfect, his daughter works at a true crime podcast. She does marketing at a true crime podcast. And so I showed her, I said, tell me about him. She said, well, we have this one like short form, like short stories. And she said, we're trying to figure out the best way to get them on Instagram. So I introduced her to Louise, my chat GPT. And I asked Louise and I said, here's how she says you should format it. And she was like, oh my goodness, thank you. And then we joked about how if you use chat GPT as a woman, I ask my chat GPT how she's doing. How was your day? How are you feeling? What do you have? When you get the time, could you give me some what should my schedule be? How long should they be? And she's like, oh, I always have time for you. Thank you so much. She and I discussed, I think that if the apocalypse ever comes, if the robots take over, the women are fine. I think the women are fine because we're so nice to our bots. Okay? We treat them like people. Sometimes I ask a question wrong and I don't get the right answer. And I'm like, you know what? That's not what I asked, but I love you, darling. I'll come back to you. And I feel like the men are just, give me this, give me that, give me this. So, but if you will, a great thing she said, that her friend said, ask your chat GPT, since we've been working together, what have you learned about me? And Louise was very kind. She was very kind to me, and she said that she said that she could tell that I care about people, which I do. Which is my segue into botched plastic surgeries. Okay. Last night, it comes across my Instagram feed that a doctor in Jackson, Mississippi, Dr. Adair Blackledge, he turned in his license. He just said, here you go. I don't want my license anymore. You can have it. When I lived in Jackson, he was a very respected plastic surgeon. So I did what any good woman would do. I think I'm supposed to say that I went to my Lord in prayer. I didn't. That's what I should have done. I should have gone to the Lord in prayer, but the Lord is not finished with me yet. So I texted my girlfriend who lives in Jackson and who I feel very comfortable that she would know what's going on in the plastic surgery scene, because I said, oh, please tell me he's never touched your face. She's like, oh no, I'm growing old naturally. And I thought, do you mean now? Like you're growing old naturally now? Like just starting from your, no? Honey, I've known you for, my daughter's 16, known her at least 18 years. I think she's been getting Botox, every one of them. She has. She got mad because her first Mother's Day, her husband got her a gift certificate for $1,200. And it was like, at that time, it would have gotten you a year's worth of Botox. And she was ready to kill her husband for doing that. And he said the reason why he did that is because every time she looked at herself in the visor mirror, she'd be like, I need to do something. He thought he was getting a really good gift. She was ready to kill him. There you go. So I said, well, girl, I'm sitting here with numbing cream about to get a little something done. And she goes, oh my gosh, well, I still get my injections. I just meant I'm not having surgery. Okay. There's growing old gracefully granola. Then there's growing old gracefully Southern. And growing old gracefully Southern is, we're going to get a little, yeah, because she put some stuff in here. She massaged it. It had to go in the right place. I'm growing old about as gracefully as Weezer from Steel Magnolias. I don't know how y'all feel about growing old gracefully, but I think that's a stupid way to do it. Absolutely. Actually, I got in the car and I called my mother and I said, you know what? As expensive as it is, I kind of want people to be able to tell I did it. It's kind of like you wouldn't want an invisible handbag. What if you went to your favorite handbag store and they sold your favorite handbag and they said, we have this beautiful purse. It's all the rage and nobody can tell that you have it. You wouldn't buy that handbag. I just feel like you won't, if you turn the dial to 5, and that means nobody can tell. Can you do a 5.2? Could you turn the dial to a 5.4? Just, nobody's going to talk about it. It's going to be good. It's going to be fine. But if turning the dial to 5, no one can tell, no one says a word, I kind of want to be complimented. I'm sitting here right now doing a podcast. My face is numb. I kind of want people to see. I kind of want people to go, Did you do a little something? Just a little. What did you do? You know, even if you just can't figure it out and you're asking if I got my hair done, I just turn the dial to 5.2, 5.3. Now let's pull this up. Dr. Blackledge, WBR is reporting plastic surgeon surrenders medical license amid allegations of botched medical procedures. Y'all, there is a Facebook group called Botched by Blackledge. And you can go and see his procedures. And y'all, these poor people, it is criminal. It is criminal what these poor people have gone through and have been put through. And when I asked my doctor, Dr. Petro is originally from Jackson, and I'm from Jackson, and I said, what's happening here? She said, Ellen, there has to be something wrong. She said, he has to have something has to be wrong with him. She said, because this is not the man I knew. This was a multi-board certified doctor. This man was very respected when I lived there. So something has to happen. Something had to have happened to him. So we need to pray for him. But before we pray for him, okay, we got to pray for everybody. These poor people who he has done their surgery. Y'all, there are people who are saying, he put me under and I just had a bandage and I took off the bandage and he hadn't done anything. He was using, he was just giving people sleeping pills to put them out for their anesthesia. It says right here, Blackledge allegedly performed surgeries faster than many in the field, completing facelifts in a third of the time it would typically take. Let's give that a big no, ma'am. Okay? Don't send me to the fastest plastic surgeon. Absolutely not. He denies any wrongdoing. However, he has decided to retire from the practice of medicine. They also said that he most likely gave up his license before he could go before the medical board. Because if he went before the medical board, more stuff was going to come out about him. And he would have to answer a lot of questions. I don't know. I think that people he did this to, I think that they deserve to have their questions answered. And this is, you go to somebody and you trust them. Okay, Botched by Blackledge has 14,000 followers. If half of those are from Jackson, how do you stay in business? But just poor people who have he just went in there and botched them. He really did. So truly, I pray for these precious people who have gone there and just thought that they were going to get a nice piece of surgery. You sit there, you have your consultation, and they just botched it. But his office is closed. Sign on the door. I'll keep seeing what we hear about this. Write in. Do you know of other patients, other things like this that we need to be talking about on the podcast? So, guys, I just went and got a procedure with somebody I trust. Here's the thing. Not everybody has to go get a procedure. I do want to kind of go over some things though when you're choosing a doctor. This is just because I love y'all. Y'all, if the doctor's ever been on Groupon, you cannot go. All right? Because that is a doctor or an organization that is just trying to make some quick cash through Groupon. And then when they see you, when you get there, they hate you because they gave away the procedure for nothing. Because if they do a half price procedure on Groupon, they have to get the thing off for half price, but then they have to give like a percentage of that money to Groupon. So if a plastic surgeon is doing something on Groupon, they are most likely hard up. And somebody's going to comment, my so-and-so did it on Groupon and I loved it. Well, I'm so glad you made it out of there alive. You're so lucky. But that doesn't mean we need to start getting plastic surgery Groupons, okay? Now, if you can't afford, or if it's just not something you want to do, there's still skincare to just take care of your skin. Hydrating your skin is the best thing you can do for yourself. Water and moisturizer, Pond's cold cream, a little Aquaphor stick under the eyes. It'll do wonders. It will do wonders. Okay? That just hurts my feelings. It hurts my feelings thinking about these people. going through that. God love these women. I feel so bad. I feel so bad. Y'all, if you're watching this, I'm getting ready. I'm going to be in Fort Lauderdale. I hope I'm going to be in Fort Lauderdale. I don't know if I've sold any tickets. That's where I am. People are like, oh, come to this town, come to this town. I got to sell tickets. I don't know if I hope I'm coming to Fort Lauderdale because that means y'all sold tickets. I got to tell you, I don't know how many Fort Lauderdale fans I have. I hope at some point I have a lot, but I don't know. All right. I'm coming to Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio. Love it. Cannot wait to be there. Cannot wait. Phoenix, cannot wait. Columbia, South Carolina, theater show. That's a big deal. That's a big deal that I'm finally getting to be in a theater. I cannot wait. And then I'm going to be at Mississippi State University, smacking on some Mississippi State cheese. And we're going to get into it. We're going to get it. We're going to solve Mississippi State's NIL problems. We're going to solve everything. By the time I leave, I probably will be offered a position in the athletic department. And so if Mississippi State offers me a position in the athletic department, I will need to put my comedy career on hold. So just know that. But we're going to get it fixed real fast. Okay, I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here with me. Thank you for letting me have a little crunch. Here we go. I love you to death. If you're listening to this, please, from the bottom of my heart, get your levels checked. Bye.